before it, TV. The world is thinking.
What we're discovering is that there's two problems with newspapers: the news and the paper, right? So the first problem is news. What's news? Well, we don't really know anymore. When you look at what people are consuming in terms of information, a lot of it is news that's created by professional journalists, but a lot of it is created by amateurs. It turns out that news to me, the news that my daughter scraped her knee on the playground is news, right? More important to me, and I'm not proud of this, but more important to me than the news that there's been another car bombing in Baghdad. I'm not expecting my local newspaper to report on that, but it is news, and there's my community and my hobbies and my professional interests, my friends, etc. Facebook is news, right? This is news about your world. Now, it's not news as we professional journalists define it, but it counts as it fills that news gap. Then there's the problem of paper, right? In general, all of our jobs are to add value to the internet. The internet is the air we breathe, it's the water we swim in. If the internet's already doing it, you should do something else. So the question is, does your product add value to the internet? And I would argue that let's start with the New York Times, because there's all newspapers are not created equal. But let's start with the New York Times. Do the journalists at the New York Times add value to the internet? Absolutely. Does the paper of the New York Times add value to the internet? Well, you could argue that it's. I'm interviewing the New York Times Magazine this coming Sunday, and it's out already. I just read it online on Wednesday night, and it's out already. When the newspaper lands on when you read this morning's newspaper, is there anything in there that's news to you at this point? You've read it already. So so paper makes the news be 18 hours late and leaves ink on your fingers. So you could argue that's a value subtract proposition. So the question is, okay, so what's still valuable? So let's say some of the reporting is valuable, but valuable most in a medium where we can't make as much money as we did with print. So we need to find a way to make money. We'll talk about that in a second. And then there's the other stuff that actually, how many reporters do you need at the Michael Jackson Memorial Service?
You need more reporters.
More reporters. If the San Francisco Chronicle sends my hometown paper, sends one of the reporters, how much value is that nth reporter?